Hi, Soul Family. So lovely to be connected with you guys again. We've missed you.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to connect with you guys.
It's been a while since our last video, but worry not, my friends, because we have such an exciting video today and also so many downloads that we haven't even recorded yet. Literally, it feels like our vortex is just buzzing with this positive momentum, positive life force energy, and it's not even March yet in one perspective, but in one other perspective, holy shit, it's already February 25th.
Yeah.
Like, time's flying. We're so excited to connect with you guys today and share this amazing transmission with you all.
We've been receiving downloads like crazy, and just in the month of February alone, the amount of information that our guides have sent us is enough to teach in the mystery school for the next 5 to 7 years easily. And I'm not even exaggerating.
And you know what it literally looks like is that our roles are being defined. So Siman is getting in like very high curriculum. He's directly working with the Ascended Masters. He's working with some really high guides, some Pleiadian guides. They're all over. There's a lot of guides that he's working with, and his full-time job has become downloading curriculum. And my full-time job has becoming, what do you do with all of this? And being the project manager to say, okay, now how do we take all of this higher wisdom and translate it into curriculum for Earth? So Siman's working on the slides, I'm working on the website, and we're working on all the foundational root chakra elements of this ascension to ground this wisdom into planet Earth, to ground these teachings and bring back these teachings. So we're buzzing, we're extremely feeling the momentum, the intensity of this ascension.
We've been extremely busy the last couple of weeks building a new website as well. So you're going to see a completely new look of our website coming up.
We're so excited to show it to you guys.
Very excited. This is we've really poured our heart and soul into this and manicured and trimmed every single word and just infused it with very powerful love energies and frequencies. Because we're being shown that right now we're building the foundation for this whole year, and this year our guides are positioning us for explosive growth in all aspects of our life, and they're telling us that this is directly related to our physical health, and we've made that our top priority, and we're fully working on our ascension and going fast forward this year.
Oh my God. Well, that being said, so Maharic Shield, guys, Maharic Shield has been literally dropped into our laps in the last month or so.
Yeah,
and it's been non-stop. The guys really want us to start off like diving deeper into the Maharic Shield. They literally said, make this video information packed and don't worry about when people will watch it. This will be a transmission for times to follow, meaning many people will be watching this years from now. Our guides are putting a lot of emphasis on it because of how powerful and how needed it is.
And the reason that Maharic Shield is, our guides are telling us that this is going to be a reference video is because this is eventually going to be mandatory for every single light worker on planet to be doing the Maharic Shield procedure. Because this procedure is something that connects us with our source frequency, and it bridges the gap between all the veils that were placed between humanity and God's source creation, and it helps us bridge that gap to all the missing pieces of ourself. And really it is not just a shielding for protection, but it also helps restore our perfected health blueprint. And Eldora and I have been having breakthroughs breakthroughs since we discovered this technology and started working with it. It's still brand new for us. We've still recently adopted it. But then we learned like a new aspect of the operating. But Maharic Shield basically works with the biofeedback operating system of planet Earth, which is basically if your computer needs the Mac OS, planet Earth needs the biofeedback operating system. And basically this is all based on the Katara technology. And once you learn how to access the planet's planet's bio operating system, once you learn how to access it, the opportunities for what you can achieve and do are limitless. It's like we're haven't even begun exploring that, but then we realize that there's a bio feedback operating system within our bodies, which is a mirror of Earth, as above, so below. So we're like miniature versions of Earth. And when we tap into our own operating system, then the potentials for accessing more functions to improve our health is limitless. So there's so much that we're being taught right now, and it's very exciting. And we're going to be teaching all of this information in our future NEMS events, and it's going
packed.
to blow your mind.
It's packed. Okay, so this is what we're going to be covering in this video, more or less. Of course, we're going to flow with it. We are going to be talking about what is a Maharic Shield and why is it so needed right now. How will activating your Maharic Shield help you? And what protection does it provide you against exactly? What are the uses of the Maharic Shield? How did our DNA get damaged? And how was our DNA tampered with? How does the covenant of Palaidor play into all of this? How does the Maharic Shield tie into all of this? How all of you light workers watching this transmission have been led to this transmission simply because you are one of the indigo children incarnated on earth with higher DNA strands. You guys are going to love this. How the Maharic Shield is an essential tool for ascension. Similar to the Markaba, the Maharic Shield is its counterpart. It is essential for ascension. And how activating your Maharic Shield directly assists in the ascension of the planet. So we have all of that for you today. So sit back, relax, and let's dive right into it.
So we'll start with what is the Maharic Shield and why is it so needed right now. I'm going to pull a diagram up on your screen here just to show you what all the layers of the Maharic Shield are. And in this diagram, we can see this diagram of a planet with a horizontal disk at the core of the planet. And this disk is extending out from the core into outer space. So it's bigger than the circumference of Earth. So, and then there's a human sitting on top and he's accessing this huge disk in the center of the Earth. So what is all this? The huge disk itself is the Maharic Shield of Earth, and it connects with the 12th dimension. So what that means is that in various levels of existence, as we go higher, we're in the 3rd dimension, then there's the 4th dimension, which is our mass consciousness. Then there's 5th dimension, which is unity consciousness. And as you go up higher in dimensions, you access higher fields of the universal mind. And in the 12th dimension of the universe is the place where Source loses its individuation into angels, avatars, or ascended masters, or individual beings. And 12th dimensional higher is all pure oneness frequency, which means the most primal blueprint of existence. Everything that exists in the physical realities is actually created as a blueprint in the 12th dimension. So you can say the 12th dimension is the library that maintains the perfected blueprint of all that exists. So if you exist on Earth, there's a perfected blueprint of you that has to exist in the 12th dimension. So the 12D is like the storage facility for all the seeds of creation, which contains the perfected blueprints of those creations. And this applies to the entire universe, not just planet Earth. Now, the Maharic Shield helps us through the planetary neural interface, which is the bio-operating system of our planet Earth. The bio-operating system of the planet Earth runs with this 12D frequency. So basically, our planet accesses the perfected blueprints of everything that it has to project as a hologram, and it basically accesses the perfected templates of all these things. Like if it needs to create a cow, it's going to pull it from the 12D blueprint. If it needs to create a house, it's going to pull it from the 12D blueprint. And humans, animals, plants, everything that's in creation is being pulled and generated out of this 12D holographic template.
So in other words, everything that is in creation is always created as a blueprint first before it can be physicalized into matter on Earth.
Yeah.
Or anywhere else. It always appears as a blueprint first, and then it comes down.
Exactly. And the Maharic Shield is basically, in addition to accessing all the perfected blueprints, it is also a shield, which means it protects the Earth against negative hacking attacks from negative extraterrestrials. And we'll put a few pictures here of various negative ET races which include the Adedicron reptilians, the Dracos, the Greys. There are many hybrid species that have gone off tangent, or they've veered off the course of natural evolution, and they've gone into a negative dimension, which means they've cut themselves off from source, and they, instead of feeding off the natural life sequences of all the 12 dimensions, they have to now hack into other beings that are organic and feed off their own biological matrix. So these negative beings cannot access source light because they made a decision millions or billions of years ago to go against the natural order of things. And in order to go against the natural order of things, they still need source energy. So the only way for them, because they've cut themselves off from source, the only way for them to feed themselves with energy and maintain their life force is by hacking other sentient life forms in this universe. And Earth is like a huge feeding ground for these negative beings. But once we know how to activate and access the Maharic Shield, basically we become impenetrable, because the Maharic Shield is not only just the shield for planet Earth, but it is also the shield for all of humanity, because we are inseparable from our planet. We are one and the same with the organism with the living body of planet Earth, Gaia, which is also a living being, which is the mother source that feeds us all. So once we learn how to tap into this bio operating system of planet Earth, we can now encapsulate ourselves in this 12D shield on a daily basis. And with regular practice, we can strengthen this shield to such a high degree that we become impenetrable to negative psychic attacks. But this also happens because over time, as you access the Maharic Shield and bring the Maharic Seal upon yourself, you become pretty much invisible to these reptilians, Dracos, Greys, whatever have you. Any of these beings, these beings stopped their evolution at 11th dimension. There's 12 dimensions in our universe. So anything above the 11th dimension cannot be accessed by these negative beings because they've cut themselves off from the 12th dimension of source.
So in other words, the highest a negative Dark Lord can go is the 11th dimension.
Correct.
This is very important to understand because some of us think, okay, above 5D, there's no negative positive,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they all have that question. But
Yeah.
negative Dark Lords can go up to 11D.
Yeah, 11D, but right now we're talking about two different things. There's dimensions of consciousness, then there's planes of existence. We're talking about planes of existence. In dimensions of consciousness, that's a whole different topic itself. But these negative beings can access the negative frequencies up to the 11th dimensional plane of existence because they were once positive beings. They were once connected to source, and billions of years ago they disconnected. But now if you bring the Maharic Shield upon yourself, you become invisible to them because they cannot access 12D frequencies.
And also what we were shown is that till 2012, the Maharic Shield wasn't even available for
Correct.
ascended light workers. And why was that? Because Earth's Maharic Shield was basically turned off, is what we have been shown. It was turned off because humanity just wasn't ready, Earth wasn't ready. We went into a
and
really,
all the
really
damage done to our grids also caused it to go
heavy
offline.
damage. We went into an extreme, we went through the Kali Yuga, which is the dark age, and now we're just emerging into the age of light, the age of Aquarius again. So in 2012, the Earth's Maharic Shield has been activated again. It's a 12th dimension technology. So before 2012, Earth didn't even have access to the Maharic Shield.
It's
so
only
now,
when the Christ dodecahedron came online, the Christ consciousness grid came online, only that allows us to have the basic groundwork or the framework to even have the Maharic Shield activated. So that's available since 2012.
and a very strong message coming in for all light workers. Literally, the guides said, we literally asked the guides, is this something that we need to do at a certain level of our ascension, or is this for every single light worker on the planet? And guys, it'll blow your mind. We can even go into that next if you like. It'll blow your mind to really, really soak up. Many of you may think, okay, I'm not a starseed, I'm not an indigo, I'm just human. But what I'm telling you and what Siman is telling you is that anyone tuning to this into this transmission at any future now moment You are the indigo children. You have come here to activate yourself to a certain level. You've come here to awaken. You've come here to remember. You have come here to return home. And you've actually come, and you do all of this by working on yourself. You do this by activating your Markaba, repairing and healing and activating your Markaba, which is your light body vehicle, which is important for you to access higher dimensions, access higher, basically to travel to higher planes of existence. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
So the Markaba does that. The same way in the Maharic Shield, what we've been shown is that you, the indigo children watching, and many of you have incarnated anywhere from what, the 1950s?
Yeah, indigo started incarnating from the 50s, and many of you watching are the indigos.
You are.
In fact,
I'm talking to you.
I would say 99.9%.
Yes.
There's a very slim chance you would be watching our channel if you're not an indigo. And the reason we say that is because if you've awakened right now at this particular time on the earth, it's not by a random chance. It's not like one person awakens, the other doesn't. It's all pre-agreed soul contracts. And to have these soul contracts to awaken in this first wave cycle, you would have to have higher DNA. You would have to have higher consciousness. You would have to have volunteered from a higher dimension to come here on earth, take upon the trials and sufferings and the lessons of planet earth, then repay all your karma, kind of like balance all your karma, and then wake up out of this, wake up out of the cycle of karma.
And in fact, go ahead.
So if you are watching this message,
Yes.
then we are talking to you because
Yes.
our guides are saying that this Maharic Shield activation is for all of you guys watching.
Yes,
and it's very important.
And what was I got something when you were talking. What were you talking about?
About how if they're awakening
Oh
right
yes.
now, they're coming
What
from
I also
higher
got
states.
was that the indigo children. So this is something that was also clearly shown to us, that all of us, all of you, all of us watching, the indigo children are here. So basically you guys already have advanced DNA. So many of you get confused because you're amongst humans. And I've always said to you on our channel that you are amongst humans, but you're amongst them, but you're not of them.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And what that really means is
How our
that
guides
you
exactly
have...
say it is, you walk amongst them, but you are not of them.
Correct. That's how the guides say it, exactly. And so what they're showing me right now is that you have advanced DNA that you are here with. You are here with your advanced DNA because many of you have, the humans on this planet only have DNA 3 strands activated, 3 or 4.
Some have 3.
3 to 4.
I mean, everyone has 3, but some have 4.
3 to 4. But you guys, all of you indigos, have the capacity to go up to 12 strands of DNA, some even higher, 48 strands of DNA. And Siman and I are currently activating a lot of our higher strands. Siman has been going very, very, very high in his ascension. Like, you want to tell them a little bit about how you're accessing the higher DNA strands?
Yeah, exactly. Since I got this download from my guides that walk-ins only occur from 48 strands of DNA, which means as an indigo to host a walk-in, which I am, I had a walk-in experience, which was a merger with a higher aspect of my soul that came in 2017. That's when I was approximately 37 years old or something. And walk-ins usually happen in your mid-30s. And what happens is that a lower part of your soul, like your normal soul, comes in the initial half of your life, and it tries to balance your karma, tries to balance your physical body, and whatever activations are needed to host the walk-in, it tries to complete those pre-agreements. And then when the body is ready, when the life circumstances are ready, the guides have prepared everything, then the walk-in occurs. And for me, it occurred within a 20-minute span, but it took me like 7 years to integrate it, and I'm still integrating it. This was 2017.
But you're the most integrated walk-in I know of. Because a lot of people, I know a lot of walk-ins who have had this walk-in experience, and I'm saying this in case any of you needs to hear it, but it's too much for you. The energy is too much for you, or it can short circuit you basically.
Walk-ins is that they short circuit. So I know many walk-ins, some YouTubers are walk-ins, some personal friends of mine that I know, but in every single case, I've seen some short circuiting, which has caused
like a distortion,
an ego kind of blind spot in the walk-in. So the walk-in doesn't realize that they're still operating from 4D ego consciousness, but they think they're a fully matured walk-in, but which they're not. It's obvious when you're in a higher level of coding, you can actually scan all the frequencies that are in the lower levels of consciousness. So you can read everything that's lower than your level of consciousness. And it's very interesting to see. So with the walk-ins, you can only have a walk-in if you come prepared for it. And to come prepared for it, you have to have a 48 strand capacity in your DNA. And
many of you watching are probably those people. So don't ever discount the fact that you could be one of them.
Those are very rare. The 48 strands, there's only 15,000 of them.
15,000
on
I
planet
don't
Earth.
feel that much. Even though I we feel that,
That
number
number
as 15.
fluctuates, and
yeah.
I recently doused that seemed to resonate. I
Yeah.
actually have a procedure where I connect with the guides and use a pendulum and get specific numbers.
Yeah.
So that's the number I got that of walk-ins that are incarnated.
So many of
But,
you have this soul contract right now. You've come to right that point in your ascension. And trust me, we're not the kind of ascension guys that we're not everybody's flavor. We're for people who are really serious on their ascension path. We're for people who really have harmonized their ego. Because if you're not harmonized in your ego, you can get triggered by us because you have all of this healing going on. So I really want you guys to soak in and believe that you are here for a grand, bigger reason. And if you thought 2020 and 21 showed you a lot about who you are, 2023, like what we're seeing right now, the kind like indigo children have come to earth for a very big reason. And what you're being asked to do now is to activate your Maharic Shield, learn to work with it every single day. And by doing so, by accessing planet Mother Earth, planet Gaia's Maharic Shield, what you're doing is you're constantly weaving this connection with her, and more light bulbs, more signals are being sent saying, yeah, we're here, Mother Earth, we're here, Mother Earth. So we need more people, we need more of humanity right now to answer the call of their soul's evolution and say, okay, I'm here, I'm going to activate my Markaba, I'm going to activate my Maharic Shield, and really take their ascension seriously.
Yeah.
This is a very, very big call right now coming in.
And in terms of indigos, like proper indigos who come with indigos who are from higher dimensions, who come to Earth to volunteer to assist humanity, many of them carry 12 strands of DNA, and many of them carry 24 strands of DNA. We talked about one category, which was the 48 strand, which is the minority, which is only 15,000. But most of the people in the audience are in the 12 strand or 24 strand DNA, which is also a very major accomplishment on Earth, because that's
and just
so
to clarify,
rare.
what he means is you have the capacity to go up to, like, you know how the humans on Earth are at 3, they're stuck at 3 strands because the human DNA has been mutated by negative extraterrestrials. So you guys watching, many of you watching, so the minority, yes, he said that there are very few people who can go up to 48 strands of DNA, but many of you watching have the capacity to go up, to activate your 12 to 24 strands of DNA, which is
And those are in
huge.
the millions. There's millions of indigos currently incarnated with those capacities. And what we have to do to get there, first of all, let me tell you why we're here in the first place. We're here basically, in a long story short, we're here to help humanity, because humanity was stuck in this universe, in this universal time matrix, because of their damaged DNA and because of the recessive damage done to their genetic code. They're no longer able to ascend out of this universe. So they're pretty much trapped in this holographic time matrix. In order to ascend out of this universe, you need to have all of your DNA strands intact. And in a normal human being, like in ascended planets, there's humanoids all over this universe. They're in the billions, and there's millions of ascended planets with a flourishing life and cultures and societies. So the indigos came from one of these ascended planets. Like, it could be from the Pleiades, it could be from the Sirius star system, and there's millions of star systems out there that you could be from. There's Andromeda, whatever have you. So we come here because we are the bridge for that DNA. We give humanity that rainbow bridge. We come here with all of our DNA potential intact. And because we don't have so much of Earth karma, which means we have not been through as much cycles of suffering as the human population, when I say humans, I literally mean um, the native Earth species, right? We're all human, but what I mean by human and indigo is like there's native Earth species that has been living here and incarnating for millions and millions of years since Lemuria, Atlantis, Mu, and all those.
And how do you know
ancient
who they are?
civilizations.
They're deeply stuck in the matrix.
Yeah,
They're completely
they're
living
the
the
ones
matrix
who are
life.
like completely walking around oblivious right now because of how much repression and how much their DNA has been tampered with. And these negative ET beings, the reason we've said this in many videos, but the reason they tamper with our DNA is because they were attempting to enslave our entire race and use us as their energy source. So, like the Matrix movie, just like they wanted to turn us into a human battery. So now,
Tell them about that matrix example.
yeah. So Vanita actually reminded us to say this, and it's a very good example at this point. You know, in the movie Matrix,
It's such a good
at
example.
one point, Neo and this Agent Smith, are having a standoff, and the agent puts his hand inside, like punches him in the gut, but it goes inside the gut, and he starts like overriding Neo's code with this black goo kind of thing. So that's very similar to how negative beings, negative higher dimensional beings, sometimes take over humans and override their coding in order to make them do something negative. So we've had this experience in our own life many times where someone
And then what
who's-
did Neo do? He literally said,
yeah, so Neo, what he does is he activates his Maharic Shielding. He remembers who he is, he accesses his source frequency, and he realizes, no, I'm God. You can't like override God's consciousness. So he uses a higher coding, which is the 12D coding, and he pushes back, and he literally pushes the black goo out of himself, and the agent falls back.
and why is this important? Because the Dark Lords only have access to 11D coding. They
Yeah.
don't have access to 12D source coding. So if
Exactly.
you have access to 12D source coding, you're pretty much invincible to the
Yeah,
dark.
you just have to remember these are tools that have always been available for us, and they've come online since 2012. But we just have to remember how to access them. And so, what were you talking about?
How Neo, the dark, how they come in and
Yeah, so the indigos are actually the rainbow bridge for humanity because we're kind of like the interbreeding project for humanity. Without the indigos interbreeding with the normal human populations, the DNA bridge will be too wide for humanity
Right.
to bridge on their own. So we're essentially here dispersed amongst the population to try and bring up as much of the consciousness as possible through our not only our presence but also sharing our DNA with the population and raising the average quotient so humanity once again can reconnect all the strands back, figure their way out, how to heal their own emotional wounds. Emotional wounds also damage our DNA. So this is all spiritual healing, all emotional healing, all physical healing is part of the process of ascension, and that's what we're doing right now.
So what are some of the uses of the Maharic Shield? How can this help you in your ascension? So first of all, as we've already covered, the Maharic Shield is your most powerful psychic protection on planet Earth. Until now, we have taught other psychic protection protocols, which are all very important based on the curriculum we were following last year and the year before. And it's priceless how to work with energy, how psychic attacks work, how anger and blame and expectation and judgment and all those lower frequencies, when you project them at other, are in fact you sending or receiving psychic attacks. So we've covered all of that in great detail in a lot of our old videos. We've also got a psychic protection masterclass on our website for all of this, so we won't go there. The Maharic Shield is a completely different form of protection. It makes you bulletproof. So that its number one, first and foremost function is providing you with 12D protection, 12th dimensional protection. Many of you guys are going to like its second use. The Maharic Shield is also a personal tool to reverse age and to get back your perfected 12-strand Adam Cadmon template. Basically, it causes reverse aging, and a lot of Earth's DNA, like a lot of Earth's pain and suffering is caused because humans on Earth are still connected to the Earth's operating system of the inverse matrix. So right now what's happening is you're being disconnected from this inverse matrix operating system of pain and suffering and growing old and all this body pain and all of that. And we're moving into reverse aging, endless youth. We're living it. Like many of you guys have seen my pictures from 2 years ago, and I'm literally reverse aging in front of my very eyes. And so I'm not telling you anything that I haven't experienced myself. We are experiencing magic. I may even put up a picture here of before and after so you guys can see it. And I'm not doing anything special for it. I'm not like a gym freak. I'm not a yogi. I'm not a vegan chick. I'm not any of that. All I have done is I've brought about balance in my life. And we are practicing all of these extremely powerful ascension tools on a daily basis. We're being taught all these there's so much we're being taught, and we're practicing on ourselves, and we're seeing reverse aging. We're seeing health benefits. We're literally being shown that our perfected blueprints are already in our auras. We're already in the timeline, meaning we're that close. We're just bringing it into physical right now, literally.
And I live with Eldora, so many of you may be new to our channel. You may have just followed us for like 2-3 months, but if you look at our videos from 2 years ago, you'll be shocked. You won't think it's the same person. And I haven't changed that much, but fortunately, I'm still okay. But like Eldora, she's literally like morphing before our very eyes. Like everyone in the audience who's been following us for 2 years has literally like, when people came to Croatia and they looked at her for the first time, they were like shocked. They're like, okay, it's not makeup or some special effects.
We don't use any filters. This is just a natural phone. And tell them how I took on the karma of Earth to go deeper into suffering.
Right. So what some indigos did was they took on the karma of humanity out of our unconditional love. We went deep into the karma and we took on very huge soul contracts of getting into pain and suffering, which needs to be transmuted on this planet in order for humanity to ascend. Because the way ascension works is that if a planet has a huge pain body, that pain body needs to be transmuted and turned into love and sorted out before you can move past that pain and go more into love and harmony and ascension and good health and emotional balance.
And you need light workers to do all of that purging and that morphing and that pain body healing. And many of you watching, just like me, have taken on these kind of contracts to really get in. Like Siman is fairly new to Earth. I have been stuck in Earth's karma for a very long time, but I truly feel like this lifetime Siman came back to get me, because he said, okay, this is our lifetime of ascension, because we've had to go apart so that he brings in the higher technology from the stars, but I'm also taking all of this higher technology and then grounding it into the Christ consciousness grid of Earth. And what I've been shown very clearly multiple times over the last few years is that I, and many of you watching perhaps, have taken on this karma, and we've really, if we've had really narcissistic relationships or a really hard time or disease, like whatever, and we've overcome it, what we're actually doing is we're helping Mother Gaia. We're helping because we're such strong, brave souls with such tenacity and strength and courage that we've said we'll go and we'll suffer and we will come out of it. Every time we cry, every time we heal, every time we have heartache and then heal our hearts, whatever we do, every tear we shed is actually healing Mother Gaia. Because as Siman said, this is very important, that the pain body of Mother Gaia, after all these war and horrific crimes against humanity and the children and all of the stuff that has happened on planet Earth, how is Mother Gaia going to heal from all of this? It is we, the children, who've come back to immerse ourselves into Mother Gaia's pain and to feel the pain ourselves. So if you guys have had a hard life, if you've had a challenging life, really know who you are. You are the indigos, you are the children of the light. You are here doing such big work. And really the analogy that I want to give you is, don't get lost looking at your life like, oh, I'm stuck in this relationship, or I'm having such a hard time with my divorce, or my daughter or my son is bullying me or giving me such a hard time, or whatever your story is. And really remember that you've come here to go through all of this and heal all of this, to heal Mother Earth. That's the only way Mother Earth can heal. This is very, very
You touched
precious.
on a really good point, because this helps bridge the gap for our audience to realize that many life challenges we think are just futile. We just think we are here on earth, but we're suffering. We don't know why we're suffering. Things are sometimes difficult and it seems like an uphill battle. And the reason we're suffering is our ascension work. The reason we have to go through all this pain and sort all of these feelings out and heal ourselves and bring into fulfillment the life of our dreams. This is the whole process. This is the whole journey as a soul that we signed up and we took on, because this is us helping and showing humanity how you can go from point A to point Z. If we just came with our like wings wide open and like showed off our magic skills to humanity, they won't be impressed. They'll say, good for you, you're ascended, but what about us? How
And
do
that's
we do it?
what the guides showed us. They said, Eldora, when you started your YouTube channel, we wanted people to see your ascension from 3D to 5D in front of their own eyes, so that they can believe in what you're saying. They can believe in this galactic technology.
The Maharic Shield, the way it helps you access your reverse aging is what happens in normal human DNA is that the third and fourth strands are blocked in their development. And in ascended planets, other normal humans with 12 strands activated, they're in their Adam Kadmon template. Adam Kadmon template simply means your perfected 12-strand blueprint, which every human has. But on Earth, because of damage and reverse grids of the planet, we're unable to access our third and fourth strand, and then it starts a chain reaction. In normal ascended planets, by the time a child reaches age 12, they've activated their fifth and sixth strands, which means they've already integrated with their soul. Their soul level consciousness is being embodied in their as their 12-year-old self. So you'll see 12-year-olds in an ascended planet speaking like Jesus. Like they'll be able to access higher consciousness. By the time they're 33, they've fully integrated their oversoul matrix, which means they've activated their DNA strands 7, 8, 9, and they have merged with their oversoul, which means one level higher than your soul, which means you're fully embodied as an ascended master on ascended planets at the age of 33. By the time you're 44, you've fully activated your 12 strands of DNA, and you are now in an avatar consciousness.
On ascended planets.
On ascended planets. But what happens in Earth is, because by the time we're 12, our third and fourth strands are supposed to be activated, and we're supposed to be going into our fifth and sixth strands by the time we're 22. That doesn't happen. So what happens is that we go through this blocked DNA, and because of the blocked DNA, we cannot access our emotional bodies. So during our teenage years, all the way from age 12 to age 22, when we're fully supposed to be blossoming and getting to know our soul and merging with our soul and have all these magical experiences.
And connecting with our higher self.
Yeah, instead what happens is that there's chaos, there's confusion, there's like all kinds of misplaced emotions. We don't know how to deal with our emotions. We're too sensitive to others' emotions. And that causes all kinds of havoc during the teenage years. And much of the teenage trouble is associated with our damaged DNA strands. But with the Maharic Shield, it helps us access all 12 strands of our DNA and bring back our perfected health blueprint. And over time, you do this on a daily basis, but over time, when you practice this enough, you're able to heal your DNA and reverse age, because your body has the innate capacity to reverse age and undo any damage that's been done to the DNA. And the Maharic Shield actually gives us all the missing frequencies and all the strands and the scalar wave patterns to rebuild the missing blocks of our DNA and brings back our perfected health blueprint.
And really, what is all this? When you think about it tangibly, what does all of this translate to in real life? What has it translated for Siman and me? Ridiculous guidance with our higher guides. Ridiculous. Like, we can speak to them at will, unless they don't want to give us an answer. But we can speak to them, and it's our higher selves have weaved into our lives on microscopic level, meaning we are our higher selves, even though we have a little bit of ego harmonization left, because no one on earth is ego free, not one person. But even though we have that, we are majority higher self. So what else can you expect? You can expect to, of course, reverse age, look great, feel great from inside, have
And then
this
have all
life
your
force
psychic
energy.
gifts and abilities.
Exactly. Psychic, you're healing. Oh my God, okay, we have a magical story to share with you guys. So I'm going through some extreme ancient healing in my hips. It's all time coded. It was time coded. This healing was time coded for me at this particular time, since coming to Thailand especially. And yesterday, when Siman was giving me a healing, I had reached a point where my hips, basically they're going through literally what feels like psychic surgery, where they're being opened up and all burden.
The burden of humanity is carried in Eldora's hips, and that was causing an immense amount of locking up and joint pain. And when I
It
was
was severe.
giving her a healing yesterday, suddenly my guides have been tapping into me a lot about this, and I've been accessing the Maharic Shield, which taught me how to access the planet's operating system, which is actually a protocol we're going to teach in our event in NEMS in a day or two, in the Maharic Shield event. We'll talk about the details in the end. But basically, once you learn how to access the planet's operating system, you can also access your own body's operating system. And I had that aha moment yesterday. It was actually my guides orchestrating it, but they gave me that aha moment where I learned how to access Eldora's biofeedback operating system for the first time. And I'm like, whoa, it was like a quantum computer that's accessed for your third eye, and you can actually see menus in your third eye if that's how you wish to see it.
And he literally says, I have access to all your pain receptors right now. I have
She was
access
like, what's
to
happening now? And she's like, and I'm like, okay, I'm accessing your pain receptors
I
now,
could
and I'm sending
feel
healing
it.
energy to the pain receptors. And I
But
sent
tell
it.
them why the Maharic Shield helped you connect
Yeah,
with this.
so the Maharic Shield helped me access this because it bridges the gap between your operating system and you. So basically, the Maharic Shield operates by you accessing the planet's bio interface operating system. And once you connect with the planet's bio interface operating system, it directly connects you with your own body's operating system. And then there's a specific procedure. We're going to be teaching this in detail. This is still new for us, so we're just telling you a high level overview as a tease. But we're going to be actually telling you the science of how to do all these procedures in future mystery school events.
And even on Sunday, at our event on Sunday, we have slides. We're going into all of this. We're going into
gonna
detail.
give a lot of details.
And we're going to actually show you step by step how to activate your Maharic Shield and do it for you. And as a gift, or actually more as a resource for you, we're going to record that part, just the part of how to activate your Maharic Shield every single day. And we're going to email it to you because this is so important. We don't want you to forget about it.
Not email. I think we'll add it to the NEMS library where they can stream it as
I
an
like
audio.
that.
So you
because
can,
the guides
listen
literally
to it.
said, don't just do the event and forget about it, because not everybody will go back and do this every day. And right now they want light workers to do this.
They want
every
everyone
day.
to do this every day.
So
They're
we're
saying
going to
this is
record
very
just
important.
the activation of every single day, what you're going to have to do. It'll be not more than 1 or 2 minutes. It'll be
Yeah.
quick. Of course, we may do it in
It's
a
a couple
more
minutes.
detailed way, but you can literally activate your Maharic Shield every day in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's a detailed way of doing it, which is long, but you don't need to do that every time. Once you perfect the detailed one and you've gotten good at it, then there's a quick version which you can access.
So yesterday he gave me this healing. It didn't take more than 5 minutes. Our
Yeah.
healings are getting next level, guys. We don't need more than 5 minutes to heal major things. And that is because of the power of our Markaba and the power of our Maharic Shield. And the other day, Siman had this crazy experience where he literally, at one point, it felt like a bolt of lightning was emerging from him. And he literally said, holy shit, I just saw Earth's Maharic Shield and I connected with Mother Gaia's electric shield. And what I saw was a bolt of lightning from your crown. Even now, your crown looks very like illuminated. And true story, 5 minutes, my hip pain, let's say the pain was at 100. It was very bad yesterday. I couldn't walk, but it was spiritual. It wasn't physical. That's why I don't even call it pain, because these are all upgrades.
It's just energy.
It's energy. I'm going through such major activations, and many of you who have pain might need to listen to this. When you guys have a lot of pain, it could be two things. One is PAIN. One is pay attention inward now. But the other, like, which means, okay, why is this causing you pain? Are you not stretching? Are you not going to the gym? Do you have an emotional disease that's causing the pain? But then there's also the other element, which I want you guys to hear about today, which I was actually guided to remind you of, is many of you are going through such major activations like I am, that all of these light body activations are happening in the light body and then coming into the physical body. Our bodies are going from carbon to crystalline, and we're upgrading our DNA, and there's so much going on that it translates as stiffness or pain in the body, which is why I highly recommend regular massages. We go for 2 massages a week, and our massages are not 1 hour, they're 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours a week. For us, this is non-negotiable. Chiropractors, like all of these really help with this energy because it's all physical. Guys, 5 minutes later, my pain's gone. Like, I have no pain right now, 0. I could not make this video if I was in pain.
And it was excruciating yesterday. So even I was shocked. Like, I've seen a lot of powerful healings that...
And he literally said, holy shit, because of Maharic Shield, my healing powers are going to go next level.
Yeah.
You want to take them through the Covenant of Palaidor?
Yeah, definitely. So what is the Covenant of Palaidor, and how is it related to Maharic Shielding? So the reason we brought in this topic is because how we mentioned earlier in the video that humanity's DNA was damaged and negative ET races were involved because they wanted to use us as a food source, as a source of energy. So what happened is that because this universe was taken over by so much darkness, by so much of this negativity, by all these negative beings going haywire with their superior technology and bullying all these less powerful races because we're not ascended yet, but we are more powerful once we are ascended. So basically, in order to get rid of the bullies from our universe, the elder races, or the Elohim, which are the founders, there's like Council of 9, Council of 12. These are all the Elohim councils.
What dimension are they in?
They're in the 12th dimension and higher. So these beings are the founders of this universe, which means they literally are the beings that architected every single speck, atom, and molecule that is in creation. And what they did is, when they realized that our universe is in trouble, they created something called the Covenant of Palaidor, which was an agreement made by all the higher races of 12th dimension and higher, which are all angelic races of source frequency. All these ascended beings came together, and they decided to create a rescue plan for humanity, for all the trapped souls in this universal time matrix. And in order to rescue these trapped souls from this universe, what was decided was that many beings all the way from the 15th dimension all the way down to the 5th dimension will begin to incarnate on this planet in mass numbers and start to bridge the gap back for humanity, so that we can restore our lost knowledge, so that we can restore our health, we can restore our physical blueprint, we can restore our psychic gifts and abilities, and we can restore our connection and climb up Jacob's ladder and rebuild all the lost connections, the lost target portals. Everything's coming back online that was offline because of the destruction of Atlantis.
And how interesting that every single portal, ley line, vortex, every single thing is being acted by the human nodes.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
We are the ones who are activating everything. That's why we are here. Literally, I really want you guys to have this breakthrough at a soul level, that every step you walk, as I'm talking to every one of you, every step you take in a crowded mall, in a crowded bus, in a crowded city, you're walking, you're literally beaming your light codes, your activated light codes into humanity, into the Christ consciousness grid. And what does that mean really? It sounds so shishi foo-foo. What does that mean? It means every victory you've had as a soul, if you've learned how to overcome victim consciousness, if you have learned how to overcome envy, if you have learned how to overcome lack and go into abundance in a mind frame. You don't have to be rich to be abundant. You have to have the abundant mind frame. All of these is your service to Gaia, and these are vibrating anywhere you go. If you're with your family, you're with your partner, you're making love with someone, that especially, you're literally sharing your codes. So if many of you are still dating those who you term as 3D people, know that even that is your service. I'm not saying you need to hold on to this relationship if it's not serving you. I never ever say that. But in fact, if you're in a relationship that feels 3D, but you still feel happy about it, there's a reason. You're giving this other person your codes, your DNA, when your sexual fluids interact and intermingle. Even this is your service.
Yeah, for sure.
So Palaidor, how does that?
Yeah, the covenant of Palaidor
to the Maharic?
is basically, that is the agreement that was made in the higher levels of heaven to allow higher dimensional entities to start incarnating on Earth in mass numbers starting from the 50s, 60s, and it really begins to explode now in the 2020s. And now it's going to be in the millions and millions. So basically, by our presence, all of your presence, the ascended indigos that are now present and incarnated on Earth, and especially the children, the new generations that are currently incarnated, we've said this many times, the new generations that are incarnating are future ascended masters. There's like a whole army of ascended masters currently growing up in our future generations.
And we've always been told that we've always been told that we are going to be training the ascended masters.
Yeah, so literally. The New Earth Mystery School is literally created in anticipation of this explosion of the population.
Yes.
And it's created so that we can bring back all the lost knowledge of Atlantis and all the mystery schools that used to teach us the mechanics of ascension. We're bringing all this knowledge back. So that's what the covenant of Palaidor is. It was the agreement that was made in the higher dimensions to allow higher dimensional beings to start incarnating to rescue lost, trapped souls in this universal time matrix, and to allow them to bridge the gap in their DNA so that they can once again have a platform for ascension. So that's why you're here. That's why we're here. You are here on a very, very important mission. You are here literally to save the planet. So think of yourselves as superheroes. Think of yourselves as powerful magicians, witches, shamans,
neos.
Yeah, all of your skills, talents, gifts, abilities, your healers. We have so many gifts and abilities, and we all came to contribute to Earth in a very unique way. And many people listening right now may be thinking, well, I have no skills. I don't know what am I even doing here? How am I even useful to this ascension? Just know that your primary role for being here is just to be.
Yes.
So if you just incarnate and you just are physically present and you don't do anything in your life, anything spectacular, and you just pass away, just by serving planet Earth with one incarnation, by bringing in your frequency, even if you didn't have many interactions, you're still interacting with your frequency. When you're walking in the mall, you're still upgrading the consciousness of the mall in the subconscious levels. So you're sending ripples in these timelines, and all these ripples are having a very, very positive effect on this ascension.
And a very strong message coming in right now, because I'm being shown this psychically, which only happens when the guides really want me to give a transmission. The psychic thing is they're literally saying you're going to be speaking to certain people. And what they're saying is, if you are older, if you're like 60, 70, 80, whatever, and you're watching this, don't feel like, I'm not going to ascend. Siman just said, when I pass away, because I know many people are here to ascend, meaning access higher consciousness with the physical body. And I know that Siman and I are all about ascension. This is what we are. We're ascension guides. We're 5D guides. We've been shown that our divine mission is humongous. In fact, a few days ago, the guides literally channeled through us. And I'm saying this with zero ego. Literally verbatim, they said, the two of you are here. The two of you are going to be central players of a galactic story that is playing out on planet Earth. And your role in this lifetime will be similar to the effect that Akhenaten and Nefertiti had in ancient Egypt. I kind of paraphrased, but this is what it was. So powerful that I shared it with my friends. I shared it with my Office of Christ. So I am saying the same thing to you guys. So when they're saying this to us, we're like central characters of a humongous story that's about to roll out on Earth.
It's already rolling
Like
out.
that's huge. That's a huge statement. And we're like, all right, let's see what happens. So I'm telling you guys this. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't undervalue yourself. What's going to happen is if you are focused too much on not ascending or feeling bad for yourself, you may lose out on the chance that you have. Instead, focus on your joy. Focus on investing in your spiritual evolution. This is all you need to do. Invest in yourselves. I'm saying to all of you watching, there is a very powerful event on the Maharic Shield we are hosting in 2 days. It's happening on Sunday. We'll put up the banner here in just a minute. It's happening this Sunday, February, 27th or 28th, whatever this Sunday is. I'll put up the details, but attend these kind of events. New Earth Mystery School is a portal. It's not a school. It's a portal into a higher dimensional of reality. Once you come in through this portal that we call NEMS, or New Earth Mystery School, magic starts to happen. And we have priced NEMS super, super affordable so that everybody can afford it. We always consult with our guides on everything we do. $88 a month is like peanuts. And the reason it is so important to have an energy exchange, for those of you thinking, why should we pay for it? Is because we do not want to work with students who have not managed their basic curriculum, who've not mastered their basic curriculum of having an exchange, energy exchange of receiving and giving. It just means you're not serious enough to be with us. It means you're not serious enough to get our activations, because our activations are gifts from the Order of Melchizedek. They are gifts from the Sister of the Rose, and they're extremely powerful, and it requires a certain finesse in the spiritual students who have courtesy, who have reverence, who have gratitude, who understand that investing in their spirituality is their only priority. Those are our students. That's what makes up NEMS. They come with reverence and gratitude. And I am telling you this, if you guys are not already a part of NEMS, you're missing out. We are having the time of our lives. We start off every event dancing. We have 2 events a month. Literally every 2 weeks we have an event, and every event is better than the other. We have angel magic ceremony. We have the hermetic principles of thought. Saman and I give our audience healings. Why is this so important? Because the energy of Earth is constantly changing. The ascension energies are constantly changing. Every few weeks, even if it's not mentioned, we give people random healings at our events, group healings, because we need to attune you all to the ascension frequencies. So don't leave yourselves out. Don't leave yourselves out. NEMS is one of the highest frequency schools I know of.
And many people may be wondering what happens to people who don't do Maharic Shielding, who don't do
Great question.
NEMS. Like, what happens to them? Do they ascend? Or like, is it a requirement to join the New Earth Mystery School if you come to Earth? Of course it's not, right? It's not a requirement. So I wanted to address that because it's coming in strongly from the guides. In New Earth, there'll be many levels of consciousness. There'll still be like unconscious people who are on New Earth. They may be just good people in their heart. So, so the basic principle is, let's say you're a couch potato and you do nothing. You're just a light worker, but you do nothing, okay? If you're just a good person and you don't bother others, you've never harmed others, you've never lied, you've not cheated, stealed, you live by the basic governing principles of the law of one, which are basically do to others as you would have done unto you. If you follow all these universal principles, you will ascend, okay? But you'll still be a couch potato. That doesn't change. There's many levels of ascension. And also guides wanted to say there's many levels in heaven. Even in heaven, there are beings or individuals who are in the lower levels of consciousness who sometimes sin. They do minor sins, like they'll break some rule here and there, and then they'll repent and then they'll get back on the bandwagon.
Or you have the A++ students.
Yeah, but then you have ascended masters who are just going up and up and up and who are not looking back, and they're having the time of their lives.
Because the universe is infinite.
Exactly.
Our potential is infinite.
So to answer that question, in order to ascend, you don't need to do any of this that we're telling you. You just need to be a good person and be good in your heart, not steal from others, not take energy that's not yours. And if you're just a good person and live by universal laws, you will be in New Earth. You don't need to do anything, but also you'll have a very boring, simple life where you're not fully fulfilling your soul's highest potential.
And we want better for you. You want better for you.
Exactly. So in order to really get on this path, you have to understand that the reason for your soul to incarnate on earth is to ascend. Once you realize that, then you should be like on this rapid fire path to take and absorb every morsel of knowledge that is shown to you that you know is going to help you move forward with your evolution in and improve your life in every single way.
And that is
So-
you coming closer and closer to your higher self. That is you coming closer and closer at a faster pace. That is you taking action to improve your life, literally. Now, the ego will give you the biggest reasons not to do anything relating to your soul. Because the ego wants you to be a couch potato. The ego wants you to be miserable in your relationship and just make do. Your ego wants you to settle. But we don't want you to settle. We want you to come fly
we want
with
you
us.
to be the best version of you that you can be. And we
Yes.
want you to unleash your highest abilities. We want you to take risks. We want you to jump into the deep abyss of the unknown and face all your fears, because that's what you came here to do. And that nothing can bring you more soul fulfillment than to know yourself. And to know yourself, you really have to have courage.
That was amazing. We love you with all our heart. Details of this event are here. If you miss it and you cannot do it live, I highly recommend you do it after. It does not have to be live. This is a super important activation. And once you join NEMS, you have unlimited lifetime access. As long as you're a NEMS member, you have access. Are you ready? To all our previous events. And we have a plethora of amazing resources. We're not boring spiritual teachers. You have to remember that. We make our teachings fun. We're all about fun. Fun is 5D, fifth dimension. So guys, with our hearts to yours, we welcome you to join NEMS. We welcome you to invest in yourself. You are worth it. You are precious. Come ascend with us. Come join us. We love you.
Come join
See
the
you
party.
guys Sunday. Be prepared to dance. I love you all.